Welcome Virgo, it's your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 27th of May for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. On the screen now I'm showing the event chart right at the start of the week, which gives us some very important information. Now you've got a reputation of being someone who's very reliable. When someone asks you to do something, if you agree to do it, you tend to do it in a very efficient, practical and precise way. In fact, you're often the person that knits together many a bigger picture because you do go through the processes in such a responsible manner. But the stars at this time, Virgo, are asking you to push yourself into the limelight. And if you are someone who's got special talents, and perhaps you've been pushing yourself slowly but surely with Uranus's help full-time since March 2019 to be more experimental and perhaps access a more free-spirited part of your nature, it's not to say that you've stopped being conscientious, but that direction of travel that you've been on can now all crest into the planets as they are at the present time. So in house 10, that's very much about your connection to the wider world. Now for many people, this can be through their work, but it can also be to do with community activities. It could also be to do with parenting role, and if you're older, even with grandchildren. It could be about personal interests, but wherever you glow up, the chances are you're going to receive a lot more recognition. But there's been another agent provocateur in your situation, but it's been much more recent. It's been Pluto. Of course, for 11 weeks in 2023, from the 27th of March to the 11th of June, it was just in your 6th house, but it's been back since the 21st of January. And through to the 1st of September, it again is pushing you to think about those roles that you often take on in a very uncomplaining way, where you provide that precision, that sense of care. But what this cluster of energy in Gemini is asking you to do is to take much more seriously your leadership qualities, your individual talents, your flair, and really be open to raising your profile. And with Jupiter, the planet of growth, right on your solar 10th house cusp, this can give you more self-assurance. But Pluto, which is suggesting that maybe you should review the structures which have served you so well for many a year, that's in retrograde, but angling to both Jupiter and also Venus. So your people skills, but also your personality power can be very important blended with your talent and your skills and experience, and there could be a new role in the mix for you. But the key here, Virgo, is you have to push yourself into the limelight. Now, if you're someone who's a little bit reticent or shy, that may be more challenging. But as this week begins, you do get some added support because your ruler Mercury is in your 9th house of exploration and adventure, but also knowledge. It's forging a very stable link to Saturn in your sector of relating. If you do have a conversation with someone influential at the start of this week, I think you can come across as someone who really can be relied upon. Even if you're wanting to take on more responsibility, go for a bigger job, or even start your own creative business. Also, Mars, the planet of passion, continues its journey in the sign of Aries, but in house 8 for you, which really evokes more of its scorpionic energy, so much more about desire. But that's going to be linking with Chiron in the middle of this week. If there's part of you that feels that invest in yourself or invest in your money would be something that you're rather guarded about, Mars here is actually going to overcome some of your reservations. But also, as the week began, the moon was in your sister Earth sign of Capricorn. Technically not at its best, but for you, this is where you can also show your warmth of personality. So there's lots of opportunities as this week goes on, but by Thursday, the moon has travelled into your opposite sign. And as much as you can showcase your talents very carefully and very well, you still need to actually have that dialogue. And it would be possible that maybe someone you need to interact with as a link person isn't quite getting the potential that you're exploring. That frustration can become even greater on Friday when the moon aligns to Saturn. But keep the faith, because by the end of this week, your ruler moves forwards, merges with Uranus, and suddenly you can make that connection, and there could be an electric connection with someone who's really impressed at your confidence to try something different. So as much as you're very much the person who helps those processes work in such an efficient and productive way, this is a time for you to actually push yourself forwards and really have that much more confidence in your sense of worth, and through your personality power, your creative skills, you're going to be much more in the spotlight. So do enjoy the acclaim. It's been a pleasure being with you, Virgo. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great week. If you've yet to subscribe, please do so now.